Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassicraft. This is part 8. Why do I always forget what number I'm on? Anyways, this is part 8. Last time, we finally figured out how to feed our fish. It took us 2 episodes. They had an entire, episode of starving. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I actually had to redo the intro because I couldn't remember what we had done last time because, let's just say, I've been doing a lot of stuff off camera in this world. Some serious innovations have been made. And I'm gonna go through a couple of them actually really quickly. If we just head down here, you'll already notice there's a couple things different over here. I made a little auto smelter so that I can make some DNA nucleotides faster. So, yeah, that's not really anything too special. But, you may remember that room over there. A lot of stuff has changed in that room, and before I go in there, I'm just gonna say I discovered something amazing in this mod that may make it possible to automate fossil creation. And I mean that entirely honestly. Like, if we just go in here, you can see some pretty crazy stuff is going on. First of all, I made an enchantment table back here with a max level enchantment stuff so that I could make some better tools so I could mine faster. And also, I made this thing. Now, you may be asking, what in the world is this thing? Well, this, you may remember if you played Minecraft a lot in 1.10, is a fish farm. It's a lot bulkier and weirder looking than the fish farms we have today, and it's also a lot less reliable, and sometimes kind of eats up your durability too fast. But it gives some pretty awesome drops. So it gives the usual, enchantment books, leather, random fish, name tags, which I'll be getting to that in a minute. I might actually use the name tags themselves. Anyways, moving on. Then, in here, another thing. These have a chance, and when I say a chance, it's like almost every single fishing time, to get, well, a disc, a record, whatever it's called. I honestly cannot remember what it's called. Yeah, just a record with the different, Jurassicraft music and stuff, or I guess Jurassic Park. Yeah, you get a lot of those, and they don't stack. So, the reason I don't have any is because I threw them all out. Anyways, this top chest. That's what I wanted to get to. If I just open this real quick, you can see I have quite a bit of fossils, and quite varied fossils at that. Now you may be wondering, how did I get these? Well, it turns out you can get skulls by fishing. How that makes any sense, I have no idea, but you know what, I'm just not going to worry about it. So yeah, that's going to make this way easier to do. Now, before I get to anything else, I wanted to actually do something really quickly. I still have not named my 2 coelacanths, and I do have a name for at least one of them, and I think I have a name for the other? To start off, I should probably make sure I spell this right. But I thought of a name first for the male coelacanth. I'll be naming him Joe. I don't know if that's spelled right now, but I'm naming him Joe after a person named Joe Brown. He asked if there was any way that he could get a shout out in one of my videos, but I'm not exactly sure how to do a shout out for him since he doesn't really have a YouTube channel or anything. So I figured, you know what, next best thing, I'll name a fish after him. So yeah, that's where I got the name for the male coelacanth. And female coelacanth does not fit on one line, which is a bit of an issue. But I will be naming the female coelacanth. Man, I cannot remember what I wanted to call her. You know what? I can't remember what I was going to call her. So I'm just going to name her after one of my mom's old fish. Nope, not a Nell. You know what? No. What is Angel? There we go. I cannot spell. I'm just going to name it after one of my mom's old fish that she used to have. That was named Angel, because I cannot remember what I wanted to call it. So there we go. We have our 2 fish. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong controls. We have our 2 fish named. We have Joe and Angel. So yeah, there we go. We finally have names for them. Now anyways, back to my main point of earlier. I did a couple more things off camera with that ridiculous amount of fossils. I actually had a lot more fossils than that, and by that I mean... wrong chest. I have a few more completed DNAs. I have 1 completed plant DNA and 5 completed dinosaur DNA, well, counting the coelacanth, but I don't know if I should count that. So 4 new completed, well, I also have the Mosasaurus. Mosaurus. I can't pronounce that. We have 3 new ones. So we have the Velociraptor, the Microraptor, and the Dilophosaurus. We have 2 like mainstream ones that I recognize and one that I do not recognize at all. So yeah, we might actually get to doing something with these later in the episode, but I'm not too sure yet. Because first what I want to do is I want to take this ginkgo thing, whatever it's called, and I want to make the Ginkgo Tree, because I currently only have prehistoric things. Oh, hello. I currently only have prehistoric animals. I need a prehistoric plant of some kind. And I just like trees, so that's where I'm going. I should probably empty out these things so I can actually put things where they go. Because that's another thing. I got a ridiculous amount of plant and twig fossils, so I have a few little bitty things of like plant things and stuff. Yeah, that's why I was able to get the 100% Ginkgo tree. So, DNA combinator, no, DNA synthesizer, here we go. Now let me just say, this was absolutely awful to try and figure out how in the world this stuff works. Like, at no point in the wiki could I find how to make the plant DNA work. Because, like, right now it's just the same as the regular dinosaurs and things, but, yeah, in, like, the next step it's gonna get 10 times harder. At least to figure out. And okay, I may have started my and a little early. There we go. We have the Ginkgo DNA. Let's put away the 100% completed disc. So this is the part where it gets fun. And by that, I mean the part that I was stuck on for 40 minutes. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to make a petri dish with agar, which, if I search the recipe, is just a petri dish with liquid agar. And to get liquid agar, you smelt one of these things, which you can either just find randomly in the world, or you can also fish them up, which is nice. So you grab one of these, and then you mix it with plant cells. The agar I was able to figure out, plant cells, that's the part I was stuck on. Like, I had no idea what to do. So I searched videos, I read through the wiki, I did everything. I could not figure out how to get plant cells. And then, 40 minutes later, in some random, obscure, like, part 7 of someone's Jurassicraft series, I learned that apparently you have to take a syringe, go up to just any old plant, for example, a blade of grass, and just stick the syringe in there and get plant blood. How does that make any sense? Like, how are you just supposed to figure that on your own? Yeah, I was a little bit frustrated. Anyways, once you have your plant cells, you just take them, and nope, sorry. You take the plant cells, mix them with the petri dish with agar, and now you have plant cells in a petri dish. You put those in there, it'll start cooking up, and then you get yourself a ginkgo plant callus. Now, I was thinking what you did with this is you went over to the, what's it called, the cultivator, and you just toss this in here. Nope. It does nothing. So, this is another part where I got stuck. So I went back, I found the video that I was watching prior, and I figured out what the guy was doing. So basically, he got a hoe, he went outside, he tilled some dirt, and he just planted this. And whenever I did that, this was the result. So yeah, we now have, well, technically 2 ginkgo trees. I just need to plant this one. Let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it here. Boom. Get some bone meal. Stand back because these are actually quite big. And there we go. We now have 2 trees. Now you may be wondering why I needed these trees. It's because their leaves are really useful for feeding herbivores and things. But yeah, that was a little more than frustrating to figure out. But it's done now, so I don't care. Anyways, now what I want to do is... should I hatch the Mosasaurus? Or the Mosasaurus? Or, you know, I kind of want to go for the Velociraptor. Just because I'm totally unprepared to handle it, and that sounds like a terrible idea. So yeah, why not? Let's go for that. Just go through all the same steps, except without the stupid things. Then once we complete all those steps, instead of getting the stupid plant DNA things, we just shove these into eggs, and then we have our 2 beautiful Velociraptor eggs And I don't believe I actually do need to worry about them just like flopping out onto the ground. I think they do just kind of exist. So I should be able to just hibernate these in here. And then they'll turn into something that I can place later. Emphasis on the word should, though, because I have no proof of that. I guess I'll leave those there, and then I'm going to sleep, and then we have a little bit of a project ahead of us. Is we have the eggs, and they are currently being incubated, but guess what we don't have? An enclosure. We literally have nowhere to put these guys, and that's a little bit important. And I was actually thinking, maybe we just circle this whole area in a wall. Like, kind of dig it out, put in some extra things, put in some glass, some little areas to stand above so you can look down on them. And then obviously I'll have some feeders throughout, but I'll have some underground tunnels leading to the feeders because I know these guys eat meat. Add maybe like a lake there, some like pond here, not a lake, but a pond. Just make it all look nice and neat, and we should have our Velociraptor enclosure. Question is, how long is that going to take me? Not important, let's just do it. Now, I'm actually going to be a little bit smarter than I've been in the past, and I am going to use, where is it? There it is, my diamond chisel. I'm going to use my diamond chisel to, instead of smelt all of this cobblestone into bricks, just make some. Of course, I gotta find one that's not, like, cracked or weathered. I might not even want to use bricks. I might want to use something a little, I guess, sleeker? Would that be the right word? No, smoother. I might want to use something a little smoother. I don't know. Those bricks look nice. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll have the regular bricks as kind of like the regular part of the wall. And then I'll have borders and things made of... I am not sure. What does a dent look like? No, not that. Unless, actually, hold on. If these connect, then that might actually look pretty cool. Oh, they do. So you know what I'm doing? Well, I'm gonna first make the outline of the wall. Okay, there we go. We're good. And I'm first gonna make the outline of the wall with the, what are they called? The regular bricks. And then I'm going to basically do kind of like what I did with my sand thing. My sand farm in my regular series. And I'll have like pillars going up the side of the wall. And I guess it doesn't matter how many times I say it if I don't do it, so I'll be right back as soon as I have this outlined. I think that's a pretty good size for my enclosure for my Velociraptors. One thing's for sure, it's way bigger than my Koala one. I may be underestimating this project a little bit, but I can guarantee you I still have plenty of resources to do it. And another thing I didn't actually even think about, how am I going to make an entrance to this place? Because I know at some point I'm going to have to actually go inside, which is terrifying to think about. But you know what? Once that issue comes along, then we'll have to deal with it. But for now, it's not even going to be a thought. Because that's the smart way to do things. Wait for them to be an issue, and then have the most problems with them. Anyways, I guess I'll go around and make sure the wall actually looks secure. And then I'm going to build this up so that at the very least it needs to be like 5 blocks tall, 6 blocks tall. I don't know how well they can climb, because I'm pretty sure they can climb in this mod. That's why I didn't want to use the electric fencing stuff. Because if I ever mess up like redstone or anything, then that would be very bad. Besides, they'll probably escape anyways, knowing how I do things. So, might as well not take the chance. And there we go, that makes me feel a little better. This may be a little bit overkill. I mean, you'd think I was keeping a T-Rex in here, but that should keep the things in. It's at that point only like a few blocks taller than it is over. You know, I need to not worry about this. I am going to way overshoot what I'm trying to do here. And by way overshoot, I mean I am going to make this way more secure than it needs to be. Which, I mean, isn't an issue, but there's no real reason for me to do that. Anyways, I guess now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a bunch more cobblestone. I'm going to use it to make more of these connected, like, pillar-looking things. And I'm going to use that as, well, pillars. I'm just going to go around the sides, obviously making sure that I'm in line with all the different pillars on the other side, because I plan to just cover this thing in windows. I mean, like, once it's done. Because I want to be able to see through on every side. Or, at the very least, most sides. Alright, now this place is looking a little bit more substantial and secure. So that makes me feel better. So now, let's see. What do we need to do now? I guess I should probably put in the windows before I start putting in anything on the inside, because you probably don't want to have things built before you actually have a way to get in and see things. And I also should probably pick where the feeders are gonna go. And I also need to put in water. So yeah, I still have a lot of stuff to do, hold on. Actually, that is, if I even want to have windows. Because another idea that I had was I could make a walkway along the top, like, hold on. I just make a quick little staircase. I could have a walkway going around on the top, but that's not near as close and personal. Actually, if I wanted to get close and personal, something I could do is I could have like a tunnel that leads to something in the center, where you could like go up, and then you could be in the cage. Only like in your like own little cage. That would be kind of neat. I am slowly building this thing into something that'll actually be fun to build. I heard a thing. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Actually, I may be sure what it was, actually. I don't know why I said actually twice, but off camera at some point, I killed a thing called a giant scorpion. And it like shot out eggs everywhere, and they hatched, and now there's little scorpions everywhere. So I'm just gonna say that's what that is and collect my apples and walk away. Something else that's kind of smart, well, smart as in something I should have thought of forever ago, is what does a steel frame look like? It looks like that. Yeah, let's go with it. I am going to chisel glass. I did not mean to put that there, but I'm going to chisel glass instead of using iron to make it actually clear glass. Because the chisel glass looks just as good, if not better, and it's also less blue and much less expensive. Anyways, I think I have figured out essentially what all I'm going to be doing with this enclosure. Obviously, I have the windows there. I'll probably have ways that you can walk up, look through the windows, look at the Velociraptors. I'll have my main entrance over here, and I'll have like a closing piston door with kind of like an airlock type system. Or maybe I'll just use iron doors so I can fit through them and they can't. That would be smart. Yeah, I'll probably just do that. Piston doors may be a bit overkill. Anyways, then I'll have a little building kind of back there as well that leads down to a little ladder which will lead down to all my tunnels. One tunnel which will lead into the central area where I'll have my little central observation station. And then I'll also have the areas that lead to the 4 feeders I'll be putting in here. So I think I've basically got this thing planned out to where it might actually work out how I planned for it. And then I guess one last thing that I forgot about is I do still want to make that walkway on the top. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. I really hate the Chisels and Bits mod. It looks so nice once you have everything done, but it is so annoying to deal with. Like, why couldn't they just make it so you can make stairs out of things? But we have at least the inner part done. I don't need to worry about the outer part. I don't know how I'm going to do the walkway. I'm probably just going to add like some fences or something along the side of this, and also do that on the outer side, and that goes all the way around, and that's how you'll walk around the area. But yeah, I do not need to worry about that right now, because something I actually realize is we are almost an hour and a half into recording, and I still have not put in the feeders or the water or anything like that. What am I doing? I believe they're smart enough to walk around and find water on their own, so hopefully that will be enough water. And there we go, we now have all 4 feeders. We should probably put them squarely in place, so go to that block, and that would come to here. Maybe I should bring that one block further in. And now, I just basically need to dig tunnels under all these, which I guess I probably should have dug holes under these first, so I would know where I'm digging. So, on a totally unrelated note to anything that I'm doing, I don't believe I have mentioned this in any of my prior videos, but I finished Mario 64! Finally! Now, I don't know if any of you have seen any of the videos where I ranted about specific stars I had trouble with and could not get. I need to fill in that side before I do anything else. The specific things I was having trouble with and could not do to save my life, mostly because I don't have skill, but I'm blaming the game anyway. Yeah, I'm finally done with it, and I never have to touch it again. And now, I was able to start a new game called Donkey Kong 64, which is actually very fun. And by very fun, I mean a lot easier. There is a slide level in it as well, which I'm not exactly sure if I'm ever actually going to do. I tried it for a few minutes, couldn't do it, and by a few minutes I mean 40. And yeah, it just didn't really work out for me. But the rest of the game is pretty fun. Hopefully I can beat the game without doing that. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled program. And there we go. We have all the tunnels under these things dug out. Now I will say, these are a little bit creepier to walk through than I intended for them to be. But I'll basically just have ladders leading up to the bottom. Oh wait, no. I can reach that from right to there. I can reach to that from right there. Can I just reach them all from the floor? I think I can. So never mind on the ladders, we don't need those. But what I do want to do is I want to have another tunnel. Well, one leading into the central area. So I can have my little central, whatever it's going to be called. I believe this is the exact center. Yes, it is. So then we'll just have this around here. And for what I want to do with this, I'm going to have to waste a little bit of iron, sadly. Specifically 6, because I believe that makes 16 iron bars. Or should I just use glass panes? It'd be easier to use glass panes. Besides, it'll probably be exactly the same. I mean, in terms of, strength. I don't think they can break through glass panes. Hopefully. Maybe I do want to put in iron bars because the glass isn't working too good for me. So if we just put in the iron bars instead, this is already looking a million times better and a lot safer. Yeah, there we go. The vision's not near as good, but it just looks so much safer. And you know what? I've been recording for almost 2 hours now, just 4 minutes off. So I think I am going to end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed. Next time we're going to continue working on the Velociraptor cage. We're going to probably build the building that'll go back over there. We're going to dig out some extra little things and stuff that'll actually be able to enter, have an actual door to enter. That's kind of important. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.